Hey, it's Ken. It's Whole30.2 day one. I'm calling it 30.2 instead of Whole30 day 31 for the main reason that would be ignorant. The second reason is, the first month I did everything on the plan, never cheated, never deviated. But as I've said in the past, I probably ate too much of the wrong things, like the meats and the fats, and too big of portions. Yeah, I lost 21 pounds in the first month. But I'm a big guy, and believe it or not, 21 pounds is not as much as you might think it is for a guy my size. I'm not complaining, but I got my pre-made paleo deal last night. A little thrown off by the portion sizes, a little thrown off by what the options were. But I have to say, I had breakfast today. It was an autoimmune paleo breakfast, so this was a turkey hash. I added a couple of eggs to that as per what I talked to these guys about. Lunch was a Cajun turkey with Carolina greens, which is great. A little paleo trail mix. And then dinner is buffalo chicken with kale and tomatoes. So far, I haven't been starving. Haven't been overfull, which is, where I always am. So we'll see. I'll give it a chance. But I'm calling it 30.2 because, maybe the 30.1 with the first month was just eating the right foods, and now it's eating the right portions of the right foods. We'll see. Maybe in a couple of days I'll be like, this is a bunch of garbage. I need to go back to eating more food. Uh, since I blathered on about that, I'll give you a short Darwinism today, not a long one. Uh, this one's kind of amusing. Michael Anderson Godwin was a lucky murderer whose death sentence had been commuted to life in prison. Ironically, so he was sentenced to death, life in prison. You know how that works. Ironically, he was sitting on the metal toilet in his cell and attempting to fix a TV set when he bit down on a live wire and electrocuted himself. I guess if you're guilty, you're guilty, right? Probably had a poor lawyer in heaven. Just saying. All right. And then my little rant today. This is why I'm doing this during the day. My little walk that I take is about 5 miles. I take the same route every day just because it's boring, and why not add boring to boring? But also because it's the one path to the closest park. And so I know pretty much where the mile markers are. And today I'm walking, and there's construction on the road. You have to deviate off into this big grass. I'm deviating into the grass. Everything looks fine. I come out the other side. And suddenly my pace is 19:19 a minute, which, by the way, is way slower than anything I've ever. I'm like, I don't think I could crawl that slow. Usually I'm in the 14-15 range, which is still slow, granted, but not like mall walk slow. So, continue my walk, and my GPS eventually figures itself out, and my pace is about the same overall. Walk back over the same grass on the way back, and the GPS goes haywire again. Sure enough, it's the New Jersey National Guard Armory whose front yard I'm walking through, and my GPS is going haywire. Which makes me realize, again, that we live in a police state. Now, we're not going to talk about all the bad things with cops or good things with cops because there's a double-edged sword there. We're not going to talk about the fact that, cops are good or bad depending on how much money you have, because I've been on all sides of the money and all sides of the good and bad cop syndrome. Just suffice to say that we're in a police military state in our country. We're losing our rights constantly. We're getting locked down more and more. Everything's more and more violent. Video games and guns and gangs and cops. It's all sort of linked in this dust spiral. So we have that. It's really particularly bad in places like the Northeast, which I'm not a big fan of. Places like the Southwest. There's a lot of bad hot spots in places that maybe aren't so bad, but still are pretty much cesspools. With that in mind, you can move anywhere you wanted to move in the world. Where would you move and why? Just out of curiosity, I'm looking for a place that has outdoor-oriented people, really engaged community, great schools, great system, great options for outdoors, so bike paths and running paths and, mountains or the ocean or something, nice lakes, something, right? And good people, not stupid people, not racist people, not people who are U.S.-centric people who don't know have a worldview. I mean, culturally diverse, but not, the people who are going to rob you as much as talk to you. It's hard to find, believe it or not. I haven't found it yet. I don't have any recommendations on it. I've been looking for a long time. So if you have suggestions, love to hear them and would love to know your reasons why. All right, have a good day. This is Ken. Later.